Hey guys, welcome back to another Junk Journal with Me episode. Today's episode is quite a long one, so you may want to get a snack and get comfortable. So today's Junk Journal with Me is a little bit different because I'm in a completely different journal. I'm in the Halloween junk journal that you guys just saw me make on my channel, and I'll link the video of me making this journal down below. So today I'm using this journal for the first time, and my plans for this journal is to use it every single year and put our Halloween photos and ephemera in here. So I am actually going to be working chronologically in this journal as well, so from front to back, which is a little bit different for me. And so for the first few pages I need to actually do a little bit of catch up on the previous years of Halloween. I don't have a lot of things, I've just got a lot of photos from one year in particular, which was 2014. I've got some pictures of my eldest boy when he was 1.5 in a cute little fireman suit, so I wanted to document those in the right order. So I'm doing a little bit of backtracking. And then there's also another old photo from Halloween in 2015, a picture of Ren as a baby. So I just want to get these into my journal first before I move on to my journaling for this year. So using this first page, full page spread, I just decided to stick down one of my linen printables on the right hand side just to help decorate that page and give me a nice little writing place later. And then on the left hand side I use that little pocket as like a frame for my photo, and so I just stuck my photo straight down on top there, and it just looks nice and framed in that journaling card. And I just added a sticker and wrote the year. And I've got these other stickers with some red, like tiny word stickers. And in this journaling session, you'll see me use a bunch of those on every single page. So they've just got cute little phrases that I used to decorate around each photo, just because I felt like the red worked really well in this journal. I wanted to add a second picture here of my son. It's just so cute to look back on photos of your kids from years ago. You forget that they were once that small, so super cute little picture that I wanted to include. I just backed it onto a Tim Holtz journaling card. This is just like a cut apart from the 12 by 12 paper pad. And then I decided to stick that photo over the top of the linen as a fold out. So I just used some washi tape to attach it. And this wide washi tape is from Washi Wednesday. You guys hear me say that all the time, but it's my favorite tape. So it's from Washi Wednesday and I use it pretty much every time I journal now. And then I just used a slim tape on the inside because I didn't want to cover up too much of that linen. And I added a cute little sticker that had some pumpkins on it. And for now I just left that page and moved on to the next one. So I had an envelope that was too large to fit in here, so I cut it down in half, and then when I attached it into the middle of the page with washi tape, it kind of sealed it closed because the things that I put in that envelope aren't going to fall through anymore. So I just put a bunch of extra photos in there of my sister-in-law and my sister from the same Halloween, and then I just stuck a little sticker on top of the envelope and moved onto the page beside it. So I used this 6x6 paper. It's a really old paper that I thought worked really well because of the orange and black colours, and I just cut it down so that it would fit perfectly across the page, and that just kind of covered up those bits of washi tape underneath to make it look a little bit more neat and to give me a nice little background for some more photos. Stuck that down, and then I added a little strip of washi tape at the top and the bottom, and then it wasn't sticking as well as I would like, so I went ahead and I added some more glue. This time I just used some wet acid-free PVA glue just to make sure that it wasn't going to peel up on the inside there. And I used one of these old Kaisercraft tags underneath the photo, and that's what I'm going to use to journal on later. So again, I just stuck that down with some more wet PVA glue, and then I stuck the photo of my son and my sister-in-law above that with a little gold frame on top. I usually add a couple of staples to reinforce things if I feel like they're not going to stay forever, and the top of that little gold frame was really tedious to glue, so I just stapled it straight down. And then I think I added a little owl sticker on the page to decorate it. And I added another one of those cute little red tiny word stickers which had some sweet phrases that just worked really well with these pictures. Now on the back of that envelope I'm going to stick this picture of Ren, who was only 2 months old at the time, and so this was just from Halloween. We didn't really do anything for Halloween this particular year, but we did have this little Tigger costume and he wore it that afternoon, so I just backed it onto a scrap of old book page, just blank, and cut that out and then stuck that down straight on top of the envelope. I used one of those little red framed label stickers that I printed out from home underneath that photo. And after I kind of put all these pages together, I do my journaling all in one go. So I'm just making sure that I'm leaving places for me to write on, and I'll do that at the end off camera. Moving on to the next page, I'm just looking forward a little bit to see what spaces I have and flicking through the ephemera from this Halloween. So I have a lot of photos that I want to put in here. And the first one I'm playing around with is a picture of my husband and my kids doing the pumpkin carving. And I decided to draw a couple of pumpkins at the bottom of the page. So I used a pencil to pencil in the pumpkins to make sure I didn't stuff up the page. And then I went in over the top with a black pen. I drew 3 pumpkins on the right, and then I drew 1 pumpkin on the left-hand side page. And once I had them outlined, I just got a orange pencil and coloured them all in the same colour, and coloured in the stalks with like a greyish green, and the eyes and the mouth with a black pencil. Nothing too fancy, literally just one colour to fill in each section. No layering or like shading or anything like that. I just wanted to draw pumpkins for fun. So I drew some pumpkins, and then I decided to stick the photo of Leik and the pumpkins up the top of the page. And then I have a bunch of these washi trim printables, which are from Molly's Mantel on Etsy, and I'll link her shop below because I use a lot of these washi trims in this journaling session, because I think I did like 7 pages in this session, and I ended up using like 7 or 8 of these washi trims, and they just worked really well because the colours in some of them were like dark blacks or like golden yellows and oranges, and it just really complemented the page and kind of made it look more textured. So I added one down the side of the pocket, and then I added a piece of washi tape at the top and the bottom just by tearing it in half, and another one of those printable washi trims down the edge there where there was like a little bit of an awkward space. And then I decided to put a photo above the 3 pumpkins that I drew, and I tossed up between 2 photos, but I ended up sticking just the picture of my kids at home who'd just gotten into their costumes, because I'm trying to keep this journal mostly chronological. And then I stuck this little sticker that said homemade down the side because we just made our costumes ourselves. My kids went as spiders. Well, Ek and Rue went as spiders, and Ren decided last minute that he didn't want to be a spider and he went as Catboy from PJ Masks. So this page was super quick. I just had this little drawing of a ghost from one of my boys' friends from school. She did like a little invitation because we went trick-or-treating with her, and it was so cute and it fit perfectly on the page actually. So I just stapled it down at the corner so that you could lift it up because she had some cute little handwriting on the back. And then I stuck the photo of them all together on top of the pocket and moved on to the next page. So the next page was quite a blank page, so I had to sort of fiddle around with starting where I was going to start. I did have another loose drawing that I tucked into a pocket on a couple of pages behind this, And then I came back to this page and I had this paper bag that had like a sort of like, it reminded me of a spider web at the top. So I wanted to include that, and I just cut it down so that it was single-sided and then folded it up because it was a little bit too bulky as it was originally. And this just made like a little fold-out piece. And I knew that I wanted to stick a photo on each side of this, but I didn't know where I was actually going to stick this whole thing. So I popped my photos in there and figured out which photos I wanted to go in it, and then I didn't stick it down because I didn't know where to put it yet. And then I did a little bit of stamping. So I used just like a textured background stamp up the top right, and then I used a little like a little decorative stamp at the bottoms and the tops of both pages. And the stamping's not perfect at all, but I just wanted to decorate it a little bit. And then I have this playing card, which is all the right colours for Halloween. It's orange and black. It actually does have a picture of a boat, but I'm going to cover that up and so that you just see like the tree. And I'm going to use that with one of the photos of the kids trick-or-treating. But before I do that, on the other side, I decided to put one of my printable linens from my Etsy shop and stick that straight down and use it to frame a photo of my 3 kids together standing outside just before we went trick-or-treating. So again, I just like the colours of the linen, and I feel like it just helped frame the photo and made it look like just a lot more interesting and sort of layered onto the page. So then on the other side, I'm using that playing card, like I said, and I just stuck a photo over the top of the picture of the boat that was on it, and I feel like that just worked really well for this spread. I'm adding another one of those printable washi trims. I feel like it matched the page and helped frame the photo. And then I'm kind of flicking back and forth between pages and adding things. So I added like another washi trim and a little die cut with a phrase on it. And before I started journaling, I went through my journaling supplies and just pulled out a bunch of things that I thought would work. So I had everything right there in front of me. So I just like went through my stickers, I went through my children's books, I went through my pattern papers, and I just pulled out anything that I thought looked sort of Halloweenish or could work. So then I could just pull things really easily from right in front of me. So moving on to the next page, this page I kind of struggled with at first because I was running out of bits of ephemera and I didn't really know where I was going to stick things down. I did have this children's book image of a clown, which I thought was kind of creepy, so I stuck that down. And then I had a lolly wrapper left over from Halloween. This one didn't have any like sticky residue or anything on it, so I could keep it, and I just stapled it straight down on the top of the page. And then I'm still trying to fit in that little fold out piece that I wanted to use earlier, but I didn't feel like it fit on this page, so I went back and I stuck it on top of the pocket, or I put it there anyway to stick later. And then I'm sticking down a couple of movie tickets because I just went to the movies to see Halloween with my friends, and another little piece of a children's book that said bats. So that was from like a children's dictionary, and then I stuck the tickets down beside it and it fit really well. Now, just to make that page look a little bit less awkward, I added another one of the vintage washi trims in that little gap, and again the colours just worked really well and helped decorate the page and make everything look more seamless. And then I added a little clown sticker on top of the clown illustration. Then going back to my little fold out thing that I made earlier and actually sticking everything down. So stuck it straight down on top of the pocket and then went ahead and glued in the photos from Halloween. So that just folds in and out. And then flicking back through all the pages, this is pretty much everything that I'm going to do. Now I'm just going to add some more little finishing touches. So I think I add some more stickers wherever I felt like there was space to do that, just to help decorate a little bit more. Added more of those little red phrase stickers over some of the pages and some of the photos. And I also added more washi trims. So like I said, I did use a lot of them in this video, but they just worked, and I just was loving how they looked. So I just went crazy with them. So I think I added 2 more to this particular page. I had a little scrap of washi tape left over on my desk, and I just stuck that down over the edge of the washi trim that was in the center of the page, just to stop it from getting like wrecked when you turn the page. Added another washi trim and a sticker over the top of it, and then I had one more washi trim which I wanted to fit in somewhere, so I went back to the first page and I just stuck it down below the linen that I had glued to the page. And these two, the linen printables and the washi trim printables, complement each other perfectly and just work together so well. Added a couple more little stickers that worked. More of those little red phrase stickers. So I was just kind of going crazy with these as well, just sticking them on top of almost every photo. Added a little paper clip on top of the fold out to stop it from flying open, and that is the finished spread with all of my journaling. So the hand lettering at the front that says Happy Halloween is completely copied off Pinterest. I just copied it, like looking at it, and tried to copy it as best as I could in a more simplified version. So I can't take complete credit for that, but I just wanted to do some hand lettering on the front, and then I just went ahead and filled in all of the little journaling spots that I'd left myself. So I dated things, and I just wrote on the back of journaling cards that were already in the journal, and just sort of wrote little bits and pieces here and there. So that is the finished journaling session. I think I'm going to do a junk journaling Halloween type video every year in this journal, so you can look forward to another one of these next year. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you give it a thumbs up, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.